All right, just about 5 minutes after 10 o'clock, it is time for Ocala Magazine Radio. We got a full studio today. John Sotomayor and Kelly Hart, your hosts. Good morning, both of you. How you doing?
Good morning, Larry.
Good morning.
Got some dancers outside, huh?
Yeah, we do. We have a whole audience out there.
We do.
And a full panel here.
Very full. I'll be working the camera really well today. In fact, let me get a little shot right now. There,
right.
There you go.
Hey.
There you go. You're on the official video, the Ocala Magazine Radio video.
Lovely.
That's right.
That's fun.
Yeah. Well, Larry, we decided to do something very special today. In the past, we've done the Meet the Writers and Meet the Designers. And today we've decided to do Meet the Cover Models.
All right.
A lot of people get to see these wonderful people who grace our covers and help attract to the issues, but they don't really know who they are. So we wanted to take the opportunity to bring 4 of our top models in here for our audiences to get to know them better.
All right.
So with us today, our first guest is Ozzie Canseco. Ozzie was a former minor league baseball player and twin brother of Jose Canseco, and now is coaching his own minor league baseball team. He'll tell us more about it later. Morning, Ozzie.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Good morning.
And we also have with us Clay Parton. Clay Parton is an internationally renowned model. He's worked with such clients as Dolce & Gabbana and Versace, and worked with supermodels like Kate Moss, and he's graced our cover twice. So he's with us today. Good morning, Clay.
Good morning.
Also with us is Vanessa Leonore. Vanessa was our beauty issue cover model. The very beautiful Vanessa's with us today, and she's going to tell us all about herself and what she plans to do with her modeling and other career ambitions. And then with us shortly will be Bettina Reset. She's on her way down from Gainesville, will be with us on the show, and she's arriving right now. Great timing.
There she is.
Good timing.
Yes. Hi, good morning, Bettina. How are you?
Hi.
Good. Thanks for being with us today. So our whole panel's here right now, and as we said, we're going to get to know the cover models. So Kelly, do you want to begin with our first question to Ozzie?
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
That's fine.
About his career?
Yeah, I just, for people that don't know, I don't know who wouldn't, but if you could tell us a little bit about your career and how you got started and where it's taken you now. Oh, and look, you have a fan.
We have an audience.
Look, oh my gosh, big fan. Hello.
Thanks for waiting.
Just excited.
Well, I was fortunate enough. My brother and I, we started playing baseball at the age of 12. Our father used to take us out to the backyard and also to the local park and kind of throw the ball around. And we seemed to have a knack to be able to hit the ball and throw the ball very well at our age. That continued through high school. We were fortunate enough to have been drafted by 2 separate organizations. I was drafted by the New York Yankees, and my brother was drafted by the Oakland Athletics. And his career kind of stands for itself. He had a tremendous career in the big leagues. I was drafted as a pitcher, and I was doing pretty well in the minor leagues. Unfortunately, suffered an arm injury to my right arm, then had to make a change over to outfield and hitting as a favor to my brother. The Oakland A's at the time picked me up as a hitter, so I had a huge amount of time to make up, a huge gap of experience that I had to make up. I worked really hard to make up all that time, and I wound up in the big leagues actually 89 and 90 with the Oakland Athletics. A brief stint with them. Ricky Henderson was injured. I was doing very well at the minor league level as a right-handed hitter, as a power hitter, so they brought me up for what's called a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee is basically a very short stint in the big leagues while another player gets healthy, which was Ricky Henderson. I had, under normal standards, a great career. I was in the big leagues with the Athletics, also with the Cardinals, AAA Major Leagues, 92 and 93. I had the great privilege and opportunity to play in the big leagues in Japan for the Kintetsu Buffaloes. They have a great baseball system over there, and also with the Lotte Giants in Korea. And throughout all this time, I was always working with young players on the finite techniques of pitching, hitting, and fielding, and the mental aspects of the game of baseball. And I love working with young people. Subsequently, I was given an opportunity several months ago to manage a baseball team.
And which is that?
It's called the Edinburgh Roadrunners. It's in the United League. It's an independent baseball team. It's a minor league team. And I was called up and told, hey, look, Ozzie, you're not going to have a great budget. These are mainly players that have slipped through the draft, second chance kind of players, players that have made mistakes along the way. We'd like for you to go down there and help them and manage that club and see what you can do with that club. Again, you're going to probably have the lowest budget in the league. And of course, I just jumped at it. I thought it was a great opportunity. subsequently, through a lot of hard work and dedication and patience, we wound up winning the championship in the league, and I was voted Manager of the Year, which I'm extremely proud of.
Wow.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And before we continue, I wanted to say for our listeners out there that in addition to having this panel today, we're also having a special contest. The fan who comes out to the window and showcases the best fan poster will win a $50 gift certificate to the Ivy House, redeemable at both the restaurant and the shop. So if you have a poster and you have time, come on over here. We're on the air for another 25 minutes or so. We have some fans out there with posters already. So yeah, she's promoting it big. That's right. That's right. Now, but back to Ozzy. You are not only our cover model, but you're also the lead feature story at the time that we published that issue, March 2012. At the time, we wanted to invite you because you were a new arrival in Ocala, Marion County, and you were starting your own league with kids at that time. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I have an organization called Future Stars Baseball for Future Stars, and I work with kids ages 7 on up, actually to the minor league level. And my goal as an instructor or manager or mentor is to, again, teach young players the right way to play the game of baseball, to be technically sound, avoiding injuries, and also the correct way of thinking, and to always believe in yourself, no matter if you're in a baseball situation or in life, because baseball is actually a microcosm of life, and you've always got to believe yourself and give 100%.
Absolutely. And finally, Ozzy, you found out recently that you have a reality show program in the lines with your twin brother?
Well, we're working on it. It's in its infancy stage right now. I'm supposed to fly out to Nevada on the 15th, 16th, and the show's to be filmed. It's called a sizzle reel, which it's a kind of a precursor, and we're going to film that and see if any of the larger networks picks it up.
Awesome.
I think it's going to be really interesting.
That's
though.
exciting.
Exactly.
I love reality
Could be,
TV.
yeah.
So
Yes.
that'll be another one that I'll get addicted to, I'm sure.
Absolutely. And we
We'll
hope
see.
you do come back, Ozzy, and talk to us more about it when that happens.
Absolutely. This is my hometown. I live here. I'm rooted here now, so absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you, Ozzy. Clay, to you. Tell us a little bit about your career. You've been international, working with top agencies, clients, and models. Tell us about your experience.
Well, it was kind of luck of the draw how it started out, just right place, right time. But I went all over Europe. I didn't have my college days, so I consider my modeling career as my college experience because I learned a lot about life. I got to travel, but I got paid to travel, so had a lot of fun. The Dolce & Gabbana show was my first job ever, and the guy booked it out of his apartment.
Oh, really?
So he was living in one side, I was on the other side. He worked in the living room. He came out one day, he said, "Hey man, I got this job for you. It's all exclusive." And like, I came from a small town. I was like scared to walk through the mall by myself, you know, like, oh God, large crowds of people. So so I go over there, and it's like a big deal to them. You know, they make millions of dollars every year off this kind of stuff. So all I had to do was walk down and walk back. But they put out the lights and come up from the bottom of the stage.
Oh, wow.
And yeah. When you're over there, you feel like a celebrity. When you come back here, my mom's like, "Well, when are you going to do Walmart or JCPenney's?" I'm like, "Well, Mom,
cute.
you know, I got to get all this
That's
other
cute.
stuff out of the way before I get up there." But
How did you mentally prepare yourself for that? I mean, like you said,
I
from
said,
a small
"Okay,
town.
this is my job. You just got to walk down and walk back." So I was like, "You're going to pay me to do that. That's all I got to do." But mind you, the shoes you have on, like I wear a size 12. Well, it's like a 16-inch shoe because they got
Yes.
the huge tips on the end. The runway surface is like ice.
Yeah.
There's one light way down at the end, and it's just like, if you fall off of this is your first and last show ever.
Oh boy.
But-
Vanessa's shaking her head over there. She knows, right?
Well, they do it in heels. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, walking down and walking back sounds very elementary, but when your
Very.
shoes are too big and the runway's very slick and you've got on a 300-pound ensemble,
Yeah.
it's not just walking down and walking back.
And you're blinded by the lights.
Yeah,
so
you
it's
you can't see the end of the runway, and you can't look down. So you get down there, you got to do your bop bop, and then turn around and come back, and it's like as big as this table. Somebody else is coming too, so you can't hit them. As soon as you turn the corner and people can't see you, you're in a full out sprint while you're undressing. You
Oh,
get
wow.
down to your station. There's like 3 people assigned to you. And you're taking clothes off. By the time you get there, you're just standing still. They're pulling your pants up, tucking your shirt in, putting your tie on. Less than a minute and a half, you're back out on the runway with a completely new look.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. I had a good time. I met a lot of cool people. When I was overseas, I always hung out with the Brazilians and the Germans.
Yeah.
Because nobody messed with any of them.
And what are some of the cities that you worked on?
I was in Paris for a while. I lived in London for a little bit.
Wow.
Milan, Florence.
Wow, so the top fashion cities in the world.
Yeah, and then I lived in New York for quite some time, and then Los Angeles and Miami. Miami was my favorite just because you didn't have to wear shoes. You could wear flip-flops everywhere. Flip-flops are like my personality.
Same here. So you're in the right place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. And let's move on to the ladies. Vanessa, tell us about your modeling experience. What was it like modeling with us?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was a great experience. I really didn't have experience modeling. I'd never really done it before. I mean, my mom was a model in Colombia, and she always encouraged, my whole family's always encouraged me to model, but it was just something that, I don't know, I just felt, really shy and scared, I guess. And then I ran into my friend. I met her where I live, and she came up to me and she's like, "Hey, you're pretty. I need to shoot you." And I'm like, "Okay," And then after a while, we got to know each other. And then she's like, "Hey, let's try to get you into the cover of the magazine." I'm like, "Okay," the whole time I'm just having a good time. And
so you got discovered.
Yes.
All right.
So this is actually my first time actually being published. I mean, I've been published in a newspaper in Jacksonville by my dad because my dad is a photographer.
Sure.
But it was never kind of, oh, let's go for the cover of the magazine. It was a great experience. Wonderful.
It's gorgeous.
Good.
It's a beautiful, beautiful picture.
Oh, thank you.
And since then, have you continued your modeling part-time because you're also a student?
Yes, I'm a student. I would love to. It was a wonderful experience, and I would love to keep doing it if I get myself out there.
Okay, great. So what are your aspirations now? What are you studying for?
Well, right now I would like to get a degree in education. I want to work with kids, and I do music on the side with church and stuff like that. And modeling, if it comes along, I would love to do that as well.
Excellent. Good deal.
Very good.
And Bettina, hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm so glad you were able to join us today. As we told our listeners, you were coming down from Gainesville just for our show.
Just for
so
you
we
guys.
appreciate that. Thanks. Tell us about your modeling experience. You were our model for the Ocala Charity Register last year.
Yes, it was fantastic. It's always a pleasure working with them. I actually started a long time ago when I was younger. I did a lot of stuff for Limited 2 back in the day, and ever since then it was kind of just like a passion. It was something I did on the side. It's kind of like a little hobby, and I always enjoyed it. I kind of put those aspirations on hold just for school when I went to college. It's been difficult kind of doing both at the same time. But this last shoot was a lot of fun. I loved everybody that I worked with, met a lot of new different people that I hadn't seen at Ocala Magazine, so it was interesting.
Great deal. Good. And just for our listeners to know, we are promoting our Ocala Charity Register that's coming up this next month in September, so take a look for that. We're very excited about that issue. On the cover will be Mrs. Judy Dunlap, a phenomenal philanthropist for our local area. And we will have the charity register along with the social date book and lots of other great stories. So please look for that in September next week. So I'd like Kelly to go and ask some questions to the panel as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to talk to Clay because he was mentioning all these wonderful labels and fashion designers that he's worked with. But I'm curious to know, now that you are back in Ocala, where do you shop?
Oh.
You've been introduced to the most fabulous designs, and
It's I have 2 children now, and I pretty much shop at Walmart once every 5 years. I get socks and underwear and shirts as needed. So.
well, the good news is when you're gorgeous, you can shop at Walmart and look like $1 million. So that's
right.
That's very beneficial.
I think 2 Christmases ago, my wife surprised me and she bought me a whole bunch of clothes and so we could go out. I think I've taken her out 3 times since then.
That's wonderful. And then Ozzy, I love sports. You probably know that, and I don't know as much about baseball necessarily as I do football, but I think it's phenomenal that you have come back to Ocala to stay and that you work with kids and that's such a passion for you because there's a lot of people that will play sports because of what comes with it, and then when they're done, they're done.
Right.
So you know that someone's really genuinely passionate about their sport when it's something that they do, even like you said, hey, we've got no budget, I still want you to do this, and you were on board.
Right. Well, I found out a long time ago when I was 18 years old at the minor league, when I was in the minor leagues. it was mandatory that every team put on a couple of charity camps during the season, during the regular season, to connect or reconnect with the people there in the area. And first time I worked with kids, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed their energy. I enjoyed their honesty. They don't judge you or stereotype you. They have no malice towards you, and they treat you with love and respect and kindness. And that energy bounces back and forth between myself and the young players that I work with, and that within itself is priceless. What I feel, and the end result or the ultimate, what I really the ultimate, the ultimate win for me is when the parents come up to me and say, Ozzy, thank you so much for working with my child. You've made a difference. You've mentored him. You've helped him to believe in himself and think positively. And he's doing fantastic in baseball. He was almost going to give up. He was thinking about giving up the game. Now he really loves it. You've reignited his passion for the game.
Great.
And
Very inspirational.
people are very kind, and they send me testimonials that say these things, and I read those at night. If I'm ever down or having a problem or an issue, I just read these things, and my energy level goes up. And it's all, that's what really makes it worth it for
Absolutely.
instructors or managers or teachers.
Yes.
Overall, are those
Absolutely.
great
Your
results.
community definitely appreciates it and what you do.
Thank you.
And we're glad that you have made Ocala your home and not somewhere else. So that's always great for our community to have such a leader in our community.
Absolutely. And speaking of community, we have a small little building now right in front of the window. We have several people coming up and stopping by, waving and wishing. I wanted to add that at the end of the show, we do have some extra copies of the magazine, which each one of our cover models on there, and they will be available for autographs. So please come down here within the next few minutes and get a copy for yourselves. Get to meet Ozzy, Clay, Vanessa, and Bettina, thank you. So let's go ahead and ask the next question.
Yes, and I wanted to talk to Bettina a little bit. I mean, you drove from Gainesville.
Yes.
So that's awesome, and I wanted to talk to you about what you do in Gainesville on your your day today.
Today, well, I'm still in school.
Okay.
I graduate in December. I'm getting a bachelor's degree in public relations, and I've actually decided to go and get my master's. So
Very good.
It's something that I'm working towards as well, and it's neat. I have done modeling, but it was in the spring. I went to Miami and interned for a PR and marketing firm, and actually got to see the other side of everything,
Yes.
rather than modeling, actually putting it on for a wonderful firm. So that was neat as well.
Very
What
good.
was that experience like?
It was fantastic. It was honestly probably one of the neatest experiences I've ever encountered. It was Karma PR. It's a firm in Miami Beach, and they do a lot of stuff with fashion and different marketing strategies. And it was neat to actually be hands-on rather than just learning it and actually modeling and doing that sort of thing. So,
And what are your aspirations with public relations?
for right now, I kind of want to stay in that type of industry.
Okay.
Eventually, maybe do public relations and marketing for a hospital. I know it's a completely different spectrum, but I kind of like that for right now. At my age, it was
Okay.
fantastic.
And how do you like Gainesville?
I like Gainesville.
Are you ready for Gator football? to
I
kick off?
am this Saturday. Woo,
Of course.
go Gators!
You know, I had to throw that in there. Oh,
there we go.
We've
We got
got
a fan
some
out the
Gator
window.
chomps outside. Very
Excellent.
good. Absolutely. No, that's great. And I have a little bit of information. I can't share too much, but Ocala will soon have Ocala Fashion Week, and I'm tied in very well with the young lady who's putting that production together. So, what are your thoughts about having Ocala Fashion Week right here in our own community?
I
You
think
have
that's great.
Four people's eyes just lit
Yeah.
up right there.
I'm thinking, okay, we've already got 4 people that can
Yeah.
get on that train. No, I think that's going to be an amazing thing for our community to bring some knowledge about fashion and just the production side of things to that. And so I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully I can maybe connect you guys and see if we can't get you involved on that end.
Absolutely. Clay might have a little difficult time because he has a busy schedule. Clay, you're working on several projects right now, are you not? Different businesses?
Yeah, I wouldn't call them projects. They just be like making a living right now. I work at the canyons, so if you want to go zip lining, I'll take you zip lining.
Yeah.
I'll cut your grass. I'll clean your pool. I paint houses now for new construction with Central Florida surfaces, and 7 days a week.
Yeah.
As soon as I leave here, I'm headed back.
Are you still touring the cave?
Oh
cave
man,
tour?
I don't get to do that as much as I'd like. We
Aw,
have
man.
one at the canyons. It's ready for caving,
Uh-huh.
and we got the equipment. It's the insurance that's the big deal.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like you go in there and say, hey, we're going to take some people down in the cave. It's a good possibility everyone's going to die, but maybe not. And,
Nice.
Cut me in.
I'm sure your insurance loves to hear that.
I mean, like, once you get down in, like, the sense of exploration, because, you know, you're up on the surface, everything, they found everything, you know, besides going in the ocean, but you can find, like, new Earth. Like, I've been in places here in Ocala that nobody in the history of Earth has ever been in.
That's right.
You know?
You and I went caving together one
Yeah,
time.
yeah, we
and you
took
were
the
touring us and
cameras
showing
down
us
there.
down there. That was a lot of fun.
You weren't afraid of the disclaimer that you could possibly die?
He didn't tell me that then. He didn't say that then.
Hey, but
Very
with
smart.
with
Smart move.
everybody texting and driving and stuff like that, I'd rather be underground anyways.
That is a good point.
It's safer.
And
Yeah.
you loved it? How was it? Caving?
It was amazing. It was a little scary first going in because it's a small entrance to go into the cavern. But once you go there, when you're with a tour guide like Clay, who knows what they're doing, you feel safer, and it was phenomenal. One of my favorite stories that Clay shared is that he not only toured, but he would explore on his own. And he found a cavern that was never explored before by a human being. So he was the first human being to ever enter that space.
I found a crab in there too. It was stuck in the ceiling, and the pincher worked still. I don't know how old the Earth is, but how long that crab's been there? It's been there longer
Probably
than I
millions
have.
of years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did they name it after you or anything
No,
spectacular?
I'm waiting for the cave that I'm going to name after myself. It has to have a waterfall, it has to have a river, and it has to have a lake. You know, nice big flow stone.
It's a lot to ask for.
I know.
Yeah, right.
Sounds like I
Very
want to move
specific.
there.
Paradise.
I know. Sounds like
It's-
something
it's
out of a
gotta be
movie.
special.
And Clay, you wanted to give a couple shout outs?
Oh yeah, everybody working out at Stone Creek right now. I'll be out there in just a little bit. And everybody at the canyons, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, great.
Very good. It looks like we've got a lot of people that when they walk by, they're very interested in all of the wonderful, beautiful people that we have inside here. And
That's right. And our cheering section outside.
yeah, look, they're sweating. They're like,
They
hurry
are.
up, wrap
They're-
this
they're
thing
really
up
working
here.
for
Look,
it.
hot.
Well, I think in a moment, Kelly and I are going to choose our poster that find our favorite, and then we'll give out the prize.
Yes, very
So-
good.
I think we should vote on it.
You think we should
Yeah,
vote on it, all
yeah,
of us?
maybe
So
we
let's
should.
all just point to the poster we like. Ready?
Okay,
One,
right.
2, 3, go. There we go.
Winner.
There's our winner. Right there. Congratulations.
We have a
Miss.
winner.
There you go.
It says Ocala Magazine, go Vanessa.
Yes.
So she is a Vanessa
And
fan.
her forehead
Yes.
And her
says,
best.
Backwards.
well, I can't tell you what it says
It
backwards.
says go
It
Vanessa,
says
but
go
it's
Vanessa.
backwards. Somebody worked on the mirror this morning.
Yeah.
All right. So do we have any final thoughts with the 4 persons on the panel? Any finishing questions, Kelly?
I just wanted to first thank you guys for being here this morning, especially when there's travel involved. I know all of you guys are really busy with school and businesses and the community, so I wanted to thank you again for being here this morning. And then I just wanted to find out from you guys what your experience was like working specifically with Ocala Magazine.
Yes. Good
It
question.
was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was fun most of all.
Relaxing.
Because a lot of the times if you're, in a high stress environment, it becomes stressful too. This was laid back, fun. When it came out, it was awesome. People, you'd be in a restaurant, hey, this guy on the cover looks like you. It's crazy.
Well, I can tell you that Ocala Magazine values all of our consumers, everyone that participates with us, be it from advertisers to people in our feature stories. And so, it wasn't so much you guys, us doing you the favor as it was you doing us the favor. And so
right.
we appreciated each and every one of you being a part of that. And we always like to hear when people work with Ocala Magazine that it's a pleasant experience and a professional environment. And so we certainly appreciate that. And
was
hopefully we
definitely
can
great.
get you guys involved again in the future on some other projects.
Absolutely. Hope so.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. Vanessa, tell us real quick, what's going to be the next step for you?
Well, right now I'm just kind of going to school. I'm a housewife. I would like to start working again. Maybe I'm a dental assistant, so hopefully I can get back into that. Other than that, I just want to get back on working in my music. I've been a little away from it.
Tell us about your music.
Well, I play the piano since I was 5 years old. And then after that, I picked up a little bit of everything, like the drums and the guitar. And it's always been at church, with my parents. And my parents are pastors in Jacksonville. And I travel back and forth to Jacksonville to help them over there with the music and stuff. And I kind of have my little own, not studio, but I have my piano at home and my guitar at home, and I just kind of jam out myself and then
That is so cool.
come up with ideas and then just go back home to my parents and just, take it out over there. Hopefully I get to, record a couple of things and maybe get myself out there. Only God knows. I'm just, taking my time, and whatever happens.
Is there a way for us to hear your music? Is there any YouTube links or anything, or a website?
I do have one, but it was like probably 5 years ago.
Okay.
I haven't really recorded myself. I know my dad has a lot of recordings, but he always hides them from me. It's hard to get them out. But I think I do have one on YouTube. It's in Spanish though.
Okay.
But I'll definitely let you guys know.
You'll have to tell me
I
what
will
it
have
says.
to tell you what it says.
Yes,
I'm
I'll
Colombian
definitely.
too, by the
Thank
way.
you.
So-
Good.
And Bettina, really quick, any outside hobbies or interests that you do besides school and modeling?
I actually play the guitar as well and
Oh, cool.
dabble
We can
in
have a band.
singing, but I don't know how
Yeah.
great that is.
Well, that's excellent. This is what I wanted to showcase also. A lot of people don't know, first of all, who our models are, but then second, that our models have interesting lives outside of modeling. A lot of
Right.
people think that the model themselves don't really have much input in other kind of creative outlets, but they really do. And it's great that you all shared your life stories and experiences and shared this half hour with us, and letting our listeners know that there's much more to the models than just
Right.
modeling. So
That's right.
thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Nice.
thank you, Larry and Robin, for hosting
you,
us.
Larry.
It's been a great show.
Ocala, baby, what makes you look so good? Why don't you love me like I know you could?
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
ABC News Now. I'm Karen Chase. As President Obama weighs a possible military strike on Syria, some are